Hello YouTube and welcome to another Palo Alto tutorial. So in this video we're gonna continue our series configuring our Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so in the last video I showed you how to install it on ESXi server, and in this video we're gonna quickly and simply configure it to get access to internet. Okay, so are you ready? Let's get started. So as you can see here, I am on the GUI interface of my Palo Alto VM. So here simply I'm gonna enter the credentials that we have set up during the previous video. Okay, so let's log in and see what we get. So this is the default dashboard. So as you can see here, we have some general information. So for example, we have the management IP address that we have set up in the previous video, which is that 1.17, as you can see here. We have also the default gateway, which is that 1.3. All the settings we have configured during the CLI configuration of our VM. Okay, and also we have the logged in admins. So here I'm logged in as an admin from this IP address that 1.15. okay, but here we have set up nothing. So in order to configure our Palo Alto firewall, in order to get access to the internet, we're gonna follow some steps. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. All you have to do is to follow these steps. Okay, so the first thing to remember is that we have to set up what we call zones. So we had to configure or we have to configure a trusted zone or inside zone, and also an outside zone or untrusted zone. Okay, so in order to do that, we're gonna head to this network section here, and on the left you can see a lot of sections also. So we're gonna click on the zones. Okay, so by default it's empty, so we're gonna just create our two zones, one for our inside network, which is trusted network, and one for the outside network, which is the untrusted network. Okay, so let's click on this button here, add, in order to add a zone. So you can name it whatever you want. So let's just, for example, name it here the inside or trusted zone. Okay, and we're gonna hit OK. It's simple as that. We're gonna create the other one, which is the untrusted or the outside zone. Okay, and we're gonna hit OK. So we have created our two zones. Then we can head to the interface configuration. Okay, so let's click on this interface section here. So here by default you will see all the interfaces, but here remember 1/1 is the one connected to the adapter 1 or adapter 1.2 and Ethernet 1.2 is the one connected to adapter 3. Okay, so remember that from the previous video. Okay, so if I go back to my ESXi server, here we go, you can see here the network adapter 1 is associated to our management. We're not going to touch it. The adapter 2 is associated with Ethernet 1/1, and adapter 3 is connected to our WAN interface. Okay, so remember that. So we're gonna configure the inside, which is adapter 2 or interface 1.2. So let's do that. So we have to configure our interfaces. So interface 1/1 is the adapter 2, and Ethernet 1/2 is adapter 3. So this is the first one is the inside. Okay, and the second one is the outside. Okay, so in order to configure that, we're gonna click on it and we're gonna choose interface type, which is layer 3, and here we have also to choose the zone. But here, as you can see, I don't have zone displayed because I did a mistake. So let's return back to our zones. We have also to change the type from top to actually light tree, so in order to get them working. Okay, so let me change the type also to light tree. Okay, so now hopefully if we're gonna configure our interfaces, now the zone will show up. So let's choose the interface type is actually light tree. For the security zone, as you can see now they appeared, so this is the trusted. And of course here you can choose an IPv4 address for your inside network. So I'll choose one adapted to my inside network. So for example, let me choose that 1.4, okay, or .5 actually, okay, of course /24. Okay, so this actually will be the default gateway for all your devices in your inside network or trusted network. Okay, so I'm done with this Ethernet 1/1. Okay, here we go. Now let's configure our Ethernet 1/2, which is our outside network. So here it depends also. So first of all, let me choose the interface type, which is layer 3, and the zone, as I told you, is outside or untrusted. Okay, for the IPv4 it depends on your connection type. So if you have a static IP address, you can enter it here. Of course, that static IP address will be your public IP address, but if you have a PPPoE configuration, you could also choose that. So this is actually my case, so I will choose here the username for my PPPoE configuration. Okay, so this is the username and the password for my fiber optic connection. Okay, so I guess that's all. So let me validate that using OK. Okay, so it's a dynamic PPPoE IP address, so hopefully I will get it soon. Another thing that we have to configure in order to get that working is, of course, to associate this Ethernet 1/1 with a virtual router. Okay, so by default here you have a default one, and you can configure, for example, static route if you have them, but me, I'm using the PPPoE configuration. So all I have to do is to actually associate this virtual router, which is the default one, to each interface. So I will just choose here the default. Okay, and I will choose the same thing for our outside interface. Okay, so hopefully we get something here. So the next step is to configure the NAT. So NAT is very important in order to get actually public IP addresses from your interface. So for that, we're gonna head to policies. So this is also a very important step that you have to fulfill. So we're gonna head to policies and go to the NAT. Okay, and let's add NAT rule. So here actually we'll be adding what we call source NAT. So let's name it, for example, our default NAT or default source NAT. So I'll just name it as NAT. So of course you can name it whatever you want. So the source zone is of course the trusted, and the destination zone is the untrusted or the outside. And for the translated packet, here I'll choose, of course, source NAT or source address translation, not destination address translation. This one is used in order to reach your server from the internet, but here you want to allow your inside network to reach the internet. So I will choose here dynamic IP and port. Okay, and for address type, I'll choose interface address. Of course, here you have to choose the outside interface. So remember, in our case it's Ethernet 1/2. Okay, and that's all, and you have to validate that. Okay, so this is our NAT rule. And finally, in order for all that to work, you have to configure actually permissions or security rules. So if I click on the security here, you can see that I have the default interzone, which means from a zone to another one. So by default it's denied, the action is denied. It doesn't allow traffic from another zone to go to other zone. For example, for the trusted to go to the outside, or the untrusted is not allowed. So we have here to add this rule in order to allow traffic enter zone, but traffic inside the same zone is allowed. For example, if you have two interfaces belonging to the same zone, traffic will be allowed between these two interfaces. But as I told you, the interzone traffic is denied, so let's add our rule here in order to allow internet access. So I will just name it internet, for example, access. And of course here the source will be our trusted zone. So here the trusted zone, the source address, you can choose here your internet network, or you can just leave it to any. For the destination, of course, that will be the untrusted zone or the outside zone, and the destination also is any, because we want to reach any IP address on the internet. For the applications, I will just leave it any, because I want to access all services, all the applications. For the service, it's better to choose any in order not to get stuck with some specific actually applications or service. So I will here allow all services, and the action of course is to allow. Okay, and all that will be logged. Et voila, our internet access security rule has been created. Okay, so we have set up everything. So now all we have to do is to commit our work. So remember, in Palo Alto firewall, whenever you make changes to the configuration, you have to commit it, because by default it's on what we call candidate configuration. It's on the memory, it's not yet running, and in order to make it the running configuration, you have to commit it. And to commit it, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. There is a button here, commit, that you have to click. Okay, and to click on this button here, commit. Okay, and you have to wait sometimes in order to verify your configuration and to actually make it running. And of course, if you have any problem, it will be showing here. You can close that. It doesn't mean that you're gonna cancel. No, you can close that. If you want to return back to the see if the commit was successful or not, you have to click on this task here on the bottom, and you can see here the commit is still running. Okay, so we will wait for the configuration to succeed, then we will test if indeed our configuration was successfully configured and we can access the internet. Okay, so the commit, as you can see here, is almost done, 98%. Now 99, and here we go. You can see now the status is completed. You can click on it. You can see the result is successful. Okay, so everything went okay. So now let's test if we get some connections. So inside our firewall we have actually a troubleshoot menu that allows us to verify the connection. So you have to click on this device here at the end and look for troubleshooting. Okay, so I will test using just simple ping. So the select test is the ping here. So I will select ping, and I will try to ping the Google DNS servers. So the famous one is 8.8.8.8. so I will execute that, and hopefully if I click on this ping, you can see here that I get some responses, which means that our configuration is pretty good. Okay, I can even return back to our network tab and to go to the interfaces. Okay, and you can see here for the dynamic IP or dynamic PPPoE configuration, I can click on it, and you can see that I get actually a public IP address from my service provider. Okay, so now in order to work with this firewall, all you have to do is to configure your inside devices with this IP address here, which is your inside interface, which is that 1.5. so I am on Windows here, so I will just go to the network here. So I'll try to change the default gateway from that 1 to that 5, which is inside interface of my actually firewall. So let's save that. Okay, and now if I open actually the command prompt, and if I try to ping the Google DNS, as you can see here, I get a response, which means that I can reach the internet using the inside interface, as you can see here, that 1.5 from my gateway. So we have successfully actually reached the internet using this parameter, which are actually very pretty simple. Okay, so that was just a brief and quick video to show you how you can start using the Palo Alto firewall in your VM, actually just with configuring this basic configuration here. So in the upcoming video I will go in more details and more advanced configuration, but here we have just set up the basic thing in order to get it up and running. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make a comment, or also like if you want. Okay, as always, I hope it has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing. Bye bye.